£1 million feels like a holy grail figure, doesn't it? I don't know why. Maybe because you get to use the tagline of being a millionaire. But is it enough to retire on if you want to retire early at, say, age 55? I regularly help people test out this exact retirement situation using professional financial planning software. Many assume £1 million is automatically enough because it's a mighty big number. But when you put the numbers under real stress, like rising prices, lower returns, or unexpected care expenses, the results can look very different. So in this video, I'll walk you through how I would assess an early retirement plan at age 55 with £1 million. I'll walk you step by step through the assumptions we use, stress test a few realistic scenarios, and give you clarity on whether £1 million truly means you're set for life or if there's more work to be done. So to start off, we're going to keep it fairly simple and then add in more detail as we go along. We have a couple, let's call them Brad and Janet. They're both aged 55 and hoping to retire and begin to live off the £1 million portfolio they've built. This £1 million is held as follows: $750,000 in personal pensions and $250,000 in stocks and shares ISAs. They say that in order for them to maintain their lifestyle, they want to have £60,000 a year after taxes in their pockets to spend, which, according to the retirement living standards data, would give our couple a comfortable retirement. We are going to build in inflation at 2.5% a year and assume that their pensions and ISAs attract a net rate of return, so that's after fees, of 5% a year. The only other asset we'll assume they have for now are two full state pensions at £11,973 a year each, which come into payment when they're 67. Here's how their cash flow looks with all these numbers plugged in. As you can see, right now their money only lasts for 25 years or so until they turn 80. And they then have a shortfall, as indicated by these red bars here, from which point they'd have to rely on their state pensions alone. And given average life expectancy is 84 for a male and 87 for a female, this is not a sustainable plan. Before we go any further, let me explain a little more exactly what you're looking at here. You have the timeline across the x-axis along the bottom, showing our couple travelling through the years all the way to the end of their story at 99. Each bar is a year, showing the money they are looking to spend in that given year as indicated by the y-axis. In year one, it's £60,000, as that's what Branet wants to spend. And then you'll notice each bar incrementally increases year on year as we move forward in time. This is the 2.5% inflation being added to their desired retirement spend each year. The different colours on the bars represent where the money is coming from to fund these needs. Light blue is their ISAs, which get spent first. The orange is their personal pensions being drawn on. And then finally, the navy blue is their state pensions, which kick in at age 67. In practice, you might spend them in a slightly different order for tax planning reasons. But for now, so we don't get bogged down in that topic, that's how they will be spent in this model. The red is the shortfall, since from age 80, there are no other assets left to spend on these assumptions, and our couple are left living on their state pensions alone. If you look here, you'll see that the amount our couple could actually sustain is £48,652 annually. This is after tax and is the year one figure, so gets adjusted for inflation year on year too. In short, they're £11,348 short of their desired £60,000 goal. But all these figures assume they need the money to last them until age 99. If we were to say Brad and Janet were to pass away together at age 87 instead, more in line with the average life expectancy, this means they could spend more as they've got less time to stretch the money out over. £54,453 in fact, £5,801 a year more than our previous example, although, interestingly, still short of their target. But of course, here lies the problem. Financial planning would be a piece of cake if we knew when we were going to die. We're trying to complete a mathematical equation whilst missing a key piece of information required to do it accurately. And from experience of working with many clients and helping them solve this decumulation retirement problem, a client's scenario is rarely this simple. So let's start adding in some more detail. Oh, and if you're serious about retiring at 55 or even just want to know if you're on track, I've put together a free retirement checklist you can download. It covers all the key questions we've just gone through, and it'll help you sense check your own numbers before making any big decisions. You'll find the link down in the description. Now, let's say Branet. No, I can't keep saying Branet, it's gross. Brad and Janet own their own home worth £750,000 with no debt. They plan on downsizing from this house as it's pretty big and requires a fair bit of maintenance and expense. And to be honest, they haven't really used that sauna since the early 2000s when they used to host those special parties. So at age 70, they will sell this house and buy something smaller, spending £400,000 in today's money terms. Now, given this will be in 2040, at this point, their current home, which is worth £750,000 today, would be worth just over £1 million if its value increases in line with inflation at 2.5% a year. And the £400,000 home that they want to buy would cost them about £580,000 at this point. So this transaction would realise about £420,000 of capital into their retirement pot. We're also going to say that their spend at this point will fall. They don't feel they will need the same amount of money from age 70, as by retiring early at 55 and spending 60 grand a year, they would have done all the trips and big events they wanted to. They feel their spend will fall to £40,000 from this point onwards in today's money terms. Part of this will reflect the lower costs of maintaining a smaller home. And if we look at the cash flow now, this works. There's no red bars, or in other words, no shortfall in the cash flow model. Downsizing and reducing spend from age 70 gives us a sustainable retirement plan all the way to age 99. Let's talk you through the cash flow here. From age 55, you'll see the first 4 years being funded by their ISAs, as indicated by the light blue. Then, from age 59, they start drawing on their pensions also, as indicated by the orange. Then, at 67, the navy blue element is their state pensions. The big event is when they're 70. This spike in the graph is when they sell the home and buy the new downsized house. From 70, which remember is also when our spend falls and they move from their go-go years to their go-slow years, they then start living from their state pensions and the capital produced from the downsize, as indicated by this light blue. This money then lasts them until they are 90, when they have to start drawing on their pensions again to see them through to the end. So, this all works. However, there is one thing that can derail this perfect strategy. Average residential care home costs here in the UK are an eye-watering £67,132 a year. Even more if you need nursing care, £80,340 a year. And the median age of the care home population is approximately 86 years old, with the average person spending around 3 years in the home. So, if we revisit our model and say that Brad goes into care at age 86 with a cost of £80,000 a year for 3 years, here's what it does to our model. It causes all sorts of problems. What you're seeing here is Brad needing care here when he's 86 at a cost in today's money of £80,000 a year for 3 years. Because of inflation, however, that would mean this £80,000 is £172,000 by this time, and that's only allowing for 2.5% inflation. Care costs historically have risen much faster than this. What happens is that they struggle to fund the final third year, as indicated by the red shortfall. And what's more, if Brad then passes away after year 3, that's one state pension lost too, as well as all the other assets spent. So poor Janet is then left in a pretty challenging financial situation. The only other asset that could then be looked at is potentially the sale of that already downsized home to something even smaller and cheaper. Now, you might feel that's a fairly extreme example, but even if I cut the care home fees in half to £40,000 a year, we still have similar issues. Look, it just buys them a few more years before running into trouble. Research shows that something like 500,000 people live in care homes in the UK. And when I tried to get into the data when researching this video to see statistically what percentage of people actually go into care, I got very mixed messages and struggled to find a definitive answer I was confident in. 1 in 4 is something that came up often, but the degrees to which people need help vary so massively, as does the cost. So it's really challenging to model. So it's very sensible to have one eye on potential care costs and model a scenario where you have extra cost in your later years. But at the same time, I wouldn't sacrifice your lifestyle now just in case you need care, as that too is a poor outcome. Like anything, it's about finding a balance. You don't want to waste those early healthy years in retirement. You only get one shot at them. So can you retire at 55 with £1 million? The simple answer is, it depends on how clearly you've planned for different outcomes. With the right assumptions and a realistic, stress-tested plan, £1 million can give you a long, comfortable retirement. But without a regularly revisited financial plan, it could run out earlier than you expect. So if you're thinking of retiring around 55 and you've saved something close to £1 million, the best thing you can do is build a clear, detailed financial plan, either yourself if you've got the tools and the skills to do so, or by working with a financial planner. And if you're not quite sure if your numbers stack up, you can book a free call with me through the link in the description. But if this video's made you realise you might be wasting years working when you don't have to, you might want to watch this next video where I walk you through 8 signs you should retire earlier than you think. It'll help you spot whether you're more ready for that next exciting chapter than you realise.